robo las miradas siempre al pasar, quemando llantitas por el bulevar. Recuerdo en Nogales lo que nos pasó.
What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. So a lot of you guys have been waiting for this video because ever since I installed the speakers on my truck, a lot of you guys were asking me what is the best amp to go with, what amp was I going to go with, you know, just stuff like that. And when it comes down to stuff like this, guys, I'm no expert. I did a lot of Google search, so I recommend you guys do the same. I can't answer you guys this question, you know, because each setup is going to be different. So I'm going to be showing you guys what I'm going to be working with. So before buying these speakers, I did a lot of research. Like I said, I wanted to make sure the amps here at home, at least one of them was going to work with the setup. So that's where the search comes in. You got to do a lot of typing, trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. So let me show you guys what I'm working with and get started. Okay, so I purchased this kit on Amazon. It's a 0 gauge wire. You got your positive wire there, you got your ground cable here, and they're both 0 gauge. It comes with the inline fuse, comes with the remote wire, and 1-channel RCA cables. So pretty much, that's pretty much all you need. Also came with the speaker wire for the subs, but we're not going to be using that wire right now because we don't have any subs. But this kit pretty much has everything you need. It also came with an assortment of different ends, so you can hook up to your amp or your ground. A couple different zip ties, but like I said, it pretty much comes with everything you need. If you buy this kit, I think it's like 40 bucks, and you're ready to go. So stuff I did have to buy additionally are this 14 gauge speaker wire. I also got this 2-channel RCA cable. It's 2 channels in one, pretty much. We're gonna be running this along with that. That way, we have 3 RCA cables running. Might as well do it now while you're running everything else, just in case you need it, but also got this assortment of different ends. Other than that, we got our distribution blocks here. It's a 0 gauge in, and then I think you can go anywhere from 4 gauge to 8 gauge on the outlets. So it's 1 inlet, 4 outlets. We got 2 of those, 1 for the power and 1 for the ground. And then lastly, we got our Planet Audio amp. I know many of you probably not a big fan of this, but so we're gonna go ahead and try it out on the truck. I think it's the best candidate. In case it doesn't work out in our favor, I got more amps to go through, so not a big deal. It's a 4-channel, but I'll show you guys how I'm gonna be wiring the speakers up to it. What else? I think that's pretty much it. So let me show you guys the inside. All right, so I went ahead and took apart most of the interior. So your door panels are off. And if you guys don't know how to take off the door panels, you look through my previous videos. I show you guys how to do it when installing these speakers. But also took out the seats just because I'm gonna be cleaning the seats and detailing the carpet a little bit. I don't think it's ever been detailed, so might as well do that. Again, you don't have to take off the seats. You can always work around them. All you need to do is just run your wire, through here, remove those trims, and then those trims over there, and then pretty much it. Now I'm gonna move over to the dash, take apart the radio, and get everything start hooking up everything back there. So we're also gonna, like I said, we're also gonna be running new wire from the speaker to the amp. So we're gonna need to remove the speaker and run our cables through here, new cables. Alright, so once you got it all apart, you're gonna want to come down to your radio. Most of the time, your radio is gonna have a wiring diagram on it. So for me, I'm looking for the remote wire, which is right there, blue with the white line, remote. There's also another blue one, but that one's for the antenna. So you want to make sure you don't get those two mixed up. You want to look for the remote one. And then you come up to your harness and you look up for the blue with the white line, which is this one right here. You can see this one, they already had it plugged up at one point. So just get that, hook it up to your remote, and then you're going to want to come down here and look at your RCA plugs. You can see there we got 3, line in, front out, rear out. So we're going to hook up into those and just pretty much run the wires all the way back. So let me get started. One more thing, before you start messing around with any of the wires, make sure your positive from the batteries unhooked. You want to disconnect that. You don't want to, make a short, cause a short. All right, so the power supply cable, I ran it to the little box right there next to the alternator. You run it, and then you're gonna run it to your little inline fuse right there. And then you're gonna find a way to run it through the firewall. In my case, when I did the front wheel tubs, it already had a big enough hole to where it would fit and run it through there. So you guys are just gonna have to figure that out though. But that's where I got the power supply from. So let's go inside now. Okay, so once you find a place to run your wire through the firewall, you're gonna want to run it all the way back. I decided to run it through the middle just to give me more wiggle room with the cable. Although, I think I would have been fine if I would have just ran it through the side right there. And here we got the RCA cables, remote wire. Yeah, pretty much just find a way to run your wires underneath the dash. And just run it. So now we're gonna get started on the doors, taking apart the speaker and this rubber deal right here, so we can run the wire through there. That way it's all tucked away and won't look hideous. So let's get started. All right, so as you guys can see, I got most of the interior put back together, and I didn't record any of the process I did, as in like running the wires, because I had family come over, and I didn't want to make them feel uncomfortable and keep on recording, because they were asking a couple of questions on what I was doing, and I was just in the zone, so I kind of just got it done in a way. But you guys didn't miss much. I mean, you guys saw I ran the power cable, RCAs, remote wire. That's pretty much like the main thing, I guess, running the wires. And as I told you guys, I did run new speaker wire, so I went with the 14 gauge speaker wire. So pretty much I'll show you here how I did it real quick. But other than that, it was just pretty much just running the wires. All right, so I'm just gonna go over real quick, like I said. So obviously you got your power cable, which is the red, comes directly from the battery. You plug it in positive, or your battery here on the amp. Then you got your negative, which you find a good ground here. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it. Let me see if I can fold the seat back. Yeah, you guys can see it right here. Just make sure you scratch off the paint real good. You want it to be bare metal, that way you get a good contact. That's where I got the ground from. You can see the brackets for the Titan window. But anyways, that's where I got the ground from. And then you're gonna hook it up to your ground, obviously. The remote wire comes from the back of the radio. I showed you guys how to find that. And then we got the RCAs. There's a 4-channel amp, so I'm running 2 pairs of RCAs coming from the radio. All right, so here we got 2 distribution blocks, one for the ground, one for the battery or the power supply. So these are just cap fell off there. So these are just in case, like later down the road, you want to run some more stuff back here. You can run more amps. This way it's already set up pretty much. So you got an inline ground right there. Then you got 4 outlets. So let's say that later down the road you want to run another amp or some other stuff back here. All you got to do is just tap in here, and you're pretty much ready to go. So you may notice for the ground wire, I do got a red cable. Usually red stands for positive. I didn't have a black cable. In order for me to know, it's a ground wire, I decided to put black tape. All it is just the color, really. Nothing changes inside the cable. It's just the color of the cable. So this is how I know this is my ground. So you may notice that. My amp is a 1600 watt Planet Audio. It's a 4-channel. So this amp does 300 watts per channel at 2 ohms. So if you guys know, my speakers, I decided to go with the ds18s, are 8 ohms each. So in order for me to get them to work with this amp, I had to combine 2 speakers together and bridge them on channel 1 and 2, and then the same for 3 and 4. So that's why you see the little space there. So when you put 2 speakers together that are 8 ohms, you get a 4 ohm load. So like I said, these speakers get or this amp does 4 ohms bridge. So that's how I got it done pretty much. That's how I made them work. Okay, so bridge, right now the way it is, I think it's pushing out 600 watts on channel 1 and 2, and 3 and 4 the same. So I got 600 watts. That means 2 speakers are hooked up to it, which is like 300 watts each speaker, I guess, give or take. I believe these speakers are RMS at 250. So pretty much 300 watts is pretty good from. How I ran the wire was take off the speaker, and you got this little rubber deal here. I kind of just put a coat hanger, a wire coat hanger through there, and you do got to remove this pillar a little bit. Just pop it out from the bottom, and just to give you enough room, you know, to mess with the rubber deal here. So pretty much just fish a coat hanger wire, and then just tie it up with some tape, electrical tape, and then just pull it, you know, that way, you know, your wires are tucked away, they're not, you know, anywhere to be seen here, and pretty much just run it, you know, to the amp. And make sure you give yourself some extra room though, and that, you know, in case you have to pull the wire back this way a little bit, or, you know, whatever, vice versa. All right, so before I end the video, just wanted to show you guys pretty much what I was rocking on before the new speaker installation. This one doesn't look too bad, but then when you press down a little bit, you can see the cardboard, you know, the cone, I guess, all messed up. So that's what I had before, and then, you know, I knew I needed to upgrade speakers, but I was just waiting for the right time. So yeah, this is what I had.
Robo las miradas siempre al pasar, quemando llantitas por el bulevar. Recuerdo en Nogales lo que nos pasó,